At my age, you know I've been to a lot of doctors. Healthcare partners, they really care. They're concerned about your health. They're all the best. I am Roberta, and I am a healthcare partner. Visit hcpnv.com to hear my story.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 775-751-0349. You're watching KPVM News 46. Week in Review with Deanna O'Donnell. And Jason Koblenz.
Welcome to News 46's Weekend Review, your number one source for local news. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Jason Koblenz.
One person was killed last week in an accident on Highway 160 at the top of Spring Mountain. According to Nevada Highway Patrol's major accident investigation team, the three-vehicle accident occurred approximately 10 p.m. last night at mile marker 20 at the top of Spring Mountain. The vehicles involved were a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, a Toyota Corolla, and a Ford Focus. A 29-year-old male motorcycle rider from Las Vegas was confirmed deceased at the scene. The Toyota Corolla driver, a 70-year-old woman, was airlifted to UMC Trauma Center in critical condition with a fractured femur. The 5 occupants of the Ford Focus were all reportedly uninjured. The accident appears to be caused from a head-on collision between the motorcycle and the Toyota Corolla. The Ford Focus struck the motorcycle after the initial collision. Nevada Highway Patrol's major accident investigation team is conducting the investigation. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
2 people have been arrested on drug-related charges following a search for a wanted suspect at a residence.
According to the Nye County Sheriff's Office press release yesterday, officers responded to 8230 Old Spanish Trail for a wanted person. Officers made contact with a person by the name of Timothy Liapis. While speaking with Liapis, a strong odor of marijuana was coming from the home, according to the report. They confronted Liapis, who admitted to having marijuana plants growing on the property. Deputies located a total of 14 mature marijuana plants inside the home, and according to the report, some were also located inside the bedroom of a roommate called Thomas Harada. They also located approximately 20 more seedlings throughout the property. Timothy Liapis and Thomas Harada were transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center and booked on the following charges: maintain a house for the sale or use of narcotics, conspiracy to violate the Uniform Controlled Substance Act, possession of a controlled substance, conspiracy to commit a crime, possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell. Both are being held on $25,000 bail. Another individual by the name of Marcia Liapis was unarrested and charges are pending. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Desert View Hospital has now installed the first drug collection unit in their emergency room for unused or unwanted prescription, non-prescription, illegal drugs and needles to be disposed of properly by the Nye County Sheriff's Office. Nye Communities Coalition, Nye County Sheriff's Office, and Desert View Hospital have all collaborated to get a drug collection unit here in the emergency room at the hospital.
Today is the inauguration of our drug collection unit. It's a partnership between Nye Communities Coalition, Nye County Sheriff's Office, Desert View Hospital. It's the first one in the community where people can come to Desert View Hospital and drop off unwanted expired medication, drugs, things like that. It's in a secure metal container, much like a mailbox, in the emergency room at Desert View Hospital.
I think this is just a continuation of services to the community. You've heard, and we'll be announcing more services the hospital will be offering. This is just another continuation of that service to the community, where there's a safe environment that those who want to get rid of the expired drugs, as Sheriff Marshall had talked about, or other drugs they just want out of their home, as opposed to putting them in, having exposed for risk or putting them, down the septic system or down the sewer system. Here's a great place to do it, to keep the environment fresh.
And it was a natural fit here at the hospital. especially here in the emergency room. There's cameras that monitor it. There are personnel on duty 24/7. So the risk is very, very minimal that anybody's going to come in and try to damage it. If they do, there's staff here 24/7. They'll call the sheriff's office and we'll respond and take care of the problem. This is one of the programs that helps reduce the availability of medication, both illegal and prescribed medication, to youth of the community, or somebody around in the home finds it, they forget that they have it, it gets into the wrong hands, whether it's a family member or whether it goes outside the household. So this is a great program.
All different types of medications are allowed to be disposed of here anonymously, like you said, even illegal drugs anonymously.
That's correct. No questions asked. They can bring it down here. They can just deposit it and walk away.
And this will be all disposed of by the Nye County Sheriff's Office.
That's correct.
These, you're going to have a couple of them, I think, right throughout the county. And how are they paid for?
They're paid for on a grant through the Nye Communities Coalition, and that's where the partnership begins, is with the Nye Communities Coalition, Nye County Sheriff's Office, and Desert View Hospital. We're not sure where the other two are going to go. We have 3 boxes total, and we have to look at where we're going to maximize getting the most bang for our buck, so to speak.
Once again, this is available here in the emergency room at Desert View Hospital 24 hours a day if you have any drugs that you need to have disposed of. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
And continuing with that story, no questions will be asked when using the new disposal site, which will help keep drugs out of landfills and out of our groundwater.
Normally what was going on was people were bringing in medications to the hospital pharmacy, which was kind of a liability for us. You know, they had to walk through the whole entire hospital with them. And luckily I was able to call Ben, and he was down, you know, right away that day to pick him up. But it was more of a liability for us. And when Ben told me about the Nye County Coalition getting the grants for the Sheriff's Department for these medication return bins, I thought it would be a great opportunity for the hospital to partner with the Sheriff's Department to offer the community a service to do a drop-off for the medication.
What do you hear from the public when they come and they're returning prescriptions to you?
A lot of times I'll get a phone call, hey, do you guys take medications, or can I just throw them down the sink or in the toilet? And, you know, I tell them, you know, we don't recommend that you do that. Reason being is it does sometimes end up back in our water system. You know, we don't recommend you just throw them in the trash can, because then it's accessible for children, teens, and other people to get a hold of them. We'd much rather you bring them here or put them in a medication drop-off bin, call the Sheriff's Department. It is a no questions asked program. So it allows people to drop them off, get them off the street, out of the medicine cabinets, and it doesn't allow for misuse or abuse.
Well, right now we have the prescription return bin right here, and in a secure facility.
Yes. What we've done is we've partnered with the Sheriff's Department. It's in the lobby at Desert View Hospital in the ER. It's under 24-hour surveillance with a camera. We have eyesight from our admitting desk here at the ER. The Sheriff's Office will be down here 2 to 3 times a week to dispose of any medications that are dropped off. So it allows for us to, you know, collect the medications, but it's also secure. The box is severely heavy, so it's very, you know, hard to move to begin with. It is locked. The medication drawer is just like a mailbox, so it opens once. You're unable to get your hand in there. Once it's in there, it's in there. It's not coming out.
All different types of medications, including illegal drugs, but also, are you taking needles here? What do people do with that?
If they're in doubt, put it in the can. I'll sort it out. If it's Sharpies, I get vitamins, I get aspirins. I don't care. If they're not sure, just call us or drop it off at our drop-off point here, and I'll sort it out myself.
It's amazing the quantity that you get, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I thought when the program first started that it would come a period that it would taper off. Actually, it just grows by week. But I just thought of something that I want to let people know too. Before I pick up the medication, just look inside the bottle. Many times when a person's sick, they put their jewelry, their earrings, their rings, money, and then I have to figure out where I got it from, call them up, and some people argue with me about it when I call them back to tell them there's money or jewelry in there.
Yeah.
So look in the prescription bottles before I get there and make sure there's no money and no jewelry in the prescription bottle.
And this past week, May 1st, was Law Day USA. Law Day is meant to reflect the role of law in the foundation of the country and to recognize its importance for society. Nevada Supreme Court Chief Justice Chris Pickering visited Pahrump in honor of the special day. The judge was invited and escorted around the town by District Attorney Brian Kunze and District Court Judge Kim Walker.
Today is Law Day, which is congressionally declared recognition and honoring of the rule of law in our society. This year's theme is equality under our Constitution and laws for everyone in this country. And D.A. Kunze invited me out, and he and Judge Walker have shown me around. We began at the League of Women Voters at a breakfast at the Nugget this morning. We went to the middle school and talked to a great group of 8th graders, and now we're here.
8th graders, you talked a little bit about the voices being heard for minors in the court.
Yes, one of the questions on last year's Law Day essays asked students across the country to comment on whether or not they feel it's appropriate for a family court dispute to have the judge ask the children who they want to go with as far as their parents and which would be the better custodian. And the students were really engaged and had a great deal to say on that subject. And I think the total consensus was that certainly by the time they're in 8th grade, it's appropriate for the court to give them a voice. They know better than anyone else what goes on in their household, and they want to be heard.
What do you hear mostly from the public?
The issue that I've been trying to engage on out here today concerns a ballot initiative that we hope to have on the ballot for 2014, which is would put a constitutional amendment before the voters to create a Court of Appeals in Nevada. So that's the issue I've been trying to engage on the most. It isn't necessarily the one that most people bring me. But judges have peculiar rules. We have to be very careful not to comment on pending cases or legal issues that might come before us. But the Court of Appeals is fair game, so that's mainly what I've been trying to talk to people about.
For people to find out more information on that or any other issues that might be concerning, how can they find out?
The court has a very good website under Supreme Court of Nevada. You can go on and there's information about the court. We have a public portal which allows you to get all of our decisions. It's free. You can log in by the name of a party or a case number. You can get all of the rulings and all of the filings. We also have a link there on the Court of Appeals that gives information on that, background about all the different judges on the court, and the various oral arguments we have upcoming, and generally the work of the court. So probably the website's the best source of information.
And when we come back from our first break, we'll cover our news across Nevada with Deanne O'Donnell and our ribbon cutting at the fairgrounds. Stick with us and we'll be right back.